I don't go to sleep when I'm tired. I go to sleep when I'm done. Some of you sitting here, you stuck not because you don't have the gift, you stuck because your mindset is off.
But if you're not willing to pay the price to get it, you will never obtain it. That's the truth. That's the hard reality of the human condition, is you have to give blood, sweat, and tears to force your body and your mind to change. And oh my God, people understand the physical transformation, but people do not understand a mental transformation because it's invisible.
What's the first decision you made this morning? I bet it was to go back to bed. The reason why I'm bringing up this first decision that you made today and the inner snooze alarm is because in any area of your life that you want to change, there's one fact that you need to know. You're never going to feel like it. How you get what you want. It's very, very simple to get what you want, but it's not easy. You have to force yourself.
Discipline is the pathway to freedom. Discipline in and of itself doesn't take from you. Discipline gives. Discipline tells you what to say yes to and what not to. It actually lightens your load. It's that thing that makes you you. It's that thing that gives you the energy to improve, to push yourself, to get better, to be willing to fight through good enough. But it starts with you. It starts with being willing to change the things in your life.
What do you want? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to triple your income? Do you want to start a nonprofit? Do you want to find love? What is it? Anything that's a break from your routine is going to require force.
The pain and suffering that is the process of growing and getting better. Here's the thing, humans are capable of change, extraordinary change, transformation, to go from one thing to something else that is truly unrecognizable. To think of the person you are today as being a waylay point to the person that you can become. And over there, on the other side of that transformation, is somebody so much more powerful and greater than who you are today. But you've got to answer how badly you want it.
The first step is getting completely and brutally honest enough to say, I am tired of myself. When you say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's the facilitator of change. That's when you're ready to say these words, no more excuses. No more excuses.
Why don't you have what you want? When you have all the information that you need, you have the contacts that you need, there are probably free tools online that allow you to start a business or join a group or do whatever the heck you want. It's the routine that's killing you.
Everybody's going to get the same information. Everybody's going to get the same pamphlet. Everybody's going to get the same speakers. Everybody's going to get the exact same thing. Everybody's going to have access to the exact same thing. The problem is everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Everybody gets excited. E.T., the guru story, but nobody wants to get up at 3 o'clock. Everybody's excited when I say, I wake up at 3 o'clock, Eric's a beast, 3 o'clock. And then you try it twice at 5, and like for real, you walk out of here pumped up, fired up, you get some new information, you're ready. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And what you have to understand is, everybody that you're gonna hear from, Eric Thomas, my mother got pregnant with me at 17 years old, high school dropout, ate out of trash cans, lived in abandoned buildings, slept in cars, multi-million company that's changing the world. I didn't say America, the world. Why? Because not only do I want to be a beast, if you follow my 24 hours, I do what beasts do.
I think the good and the great are only separated by a willingness to sacrifice. And what are you willing to sacrifice? Have you thought about it? Have you actually asked yourself that question? Have you written down an answer? No matter what anybody thinks, no matter how much hatred is slung at you, if you have a vision of yourself and what you can become, and you are willing to sacrifice to get there, and you are willing to suffer and endure, all that matters is whether or not you actually get great at something. And if you get great at something, no matter who tries to stop you, my friends, booze can't block dunks.
Everything in your life happens for a reason. Your responsibility is to look at these things in your life and ask this question: why now?
You need activation energy to start the change, to start to sit down, to start to get out of bed, to start to walk out the door. That's the key to creating any kind of change. This activation energy inside of you that causes the initial boom. And then what do we hear over time? Once you start, there's a chain reaction, and that allows you to keep going.
You have to act on your passion. You have to act on your inner drive. Don't let those feelings stay inside of you. You got to know what to do with them. You got to know how to make them work in order to get what you want. Don't keep it inside.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now.
Everybody, at one point in time in your life, to be successful, you have to jump. Jumping is the hardest thing for people to do, but you have to jump. If you never jump, you'll never be successful. When you first jump, I guarantee you the parachute ain't gonna open. I promise you that. But guess what? Eventually it does open. And then you start your glide. But it starts with the jump. You have to jump, man.
No matter how painful it is, I gotta keep going. And I gotta keep going because what is my passion? What is my focus? Your focus and your passion will numb you to failure and to pain of striving to get to where you're trying to go.
I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. No, I don't accept that. I'm fighting. I'm always fighting. I'm struggling and I'm scrapping and I'm kicking and clawing at those weaknesses to change them, to stop them. Some days I win. Some days I don't. But each and every day, I get back up and I move forward with my fist clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws.
So literally, without goals, you're directionless. You will be used. See, people without goals get used by other people who have them. People that don't have goals work for people who do. And so you want to be someone who picks up and gets clear about what you want. Make a list, 101 goals. I want to go to Paris. I want to, skydive. I want to bungee cord jump. I want to play the guitar. I want to learn to juggle. I want to learn 2 magic tricks for the kids. I want to go to the Olympics in Beijing. Whatever it is, make the list.
You have to delete all the negativity in the world and focus on things that make you feel great. So you could focus on a relationship you have. You could focus on how much you've already learned in the last 6 or 7 or 8 days. You could focus on the people that love you. You could focus on your ability as a human being to change your life at any moment in time.
You have to be crazy in believing what your goal and your passion is. Because when something is crazy, even though it's crazy, you still do it, right?
Every single person is designed from infancy with special talents and abilities that if you develop them to their height can enable you to accomplish anything you want in life. Everyone is genetically structured to be able to do something superbly, to do something they enjoy, to do it well, and to get great satisfaction from it.
There is no capability difference between you and someone you consider to be an ultimate role model of success. The only difference is they've learned to use their mind and body with more power on a consistent basis. They've learned to manage their state. They've learned to use their body effectively. Whether they know it or not consciously doesn't matter. A lot of people do things without being aware of how they do it. And they've learned to control their mental focus. Remember, whatever we concentrate our focus on consistently and strive to learn from and make new distinctions about, we will get great at.
I want to reassure you that you can do it. I want you to reassure you that you can make the decisions. I want to reassure you that no matter what the night, no matter what the storm, no matter what the difficulty, there isn't anybody here that can't figure it out, find some things to do, step at a time, yes. Minute at a time, yes. Day at a time, yes. Week at a time, yes. But there isn't anything you can't walk away from. There isn't any challenge you can't overcome. I want you to have that kind of belief in yourself.
You've got to believe in yourself. You just have to. And then you do it. You see it, you believe it, and then you do it.
As Ernest Hemingway noted, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are stronger in the broken places. But my question is, why isn't everyone? To me, it comes down to the strategies that you use. There really isn't anything objectively good or bad. There isn't anything that happens to you that can't be overcome. There isn't anything that could happen to you, anything that when you turn inward, you can't find a reason to overcome. You can't find a way to put those pieces back together, and that becomes your job. It becomes literally up to you whether you're going to sit and wallow and woe is me, because what happened, happened, and there's no way to take it back. But how you respond, what you bring to that table, whether you meet fire with fire, whether you meet that adversity with falling apart, becoming weaker in the areas that broke, or you bind them and mend them, and it becomes like a weld that literally makes you stronger, is a choice. And it's a choice only you get to make. But as Stephen Hawking said, when you complain, nobody wants to help you. There are many things in your life that you have every reason to complain about. You have every reason to be upset by the things that have happened to you. The most sinister thing about excuses is they're valid. There's a million reasons why you should be able to give up. There's a million reasons why you shouldn't need to try. That thing that broke you, you should be allowed to just sit on the ground. And here's the thing, that's your right. You have every reason to do it. And maybe people won't even think less of you. But here's the truth. You either become weaker or stronger in the places that broke, and that's a choice of how you react moving forward. The great news is, the best thing that you could do to become stronger is love yourself. And as Kamal Ravikant said, loving yourself is a practice. People think that it's something that's going to feel right, that it's going to feel natural, that you're just going to turn inward and there it is, this spark of love and joy for yourself, inside yourself. But the truth is, that's just not the human experience. That's not the way that it works. There's going to be a voice inside your head and it's going to blame you. It's going to say that it's your fault. And no matter how many times people on the outside tell you that that is not true, that this thing happened to you, that it isn't you, it doesn't define you, there will be a voice that's going to tell you that it does. And that's where you have to fall back on process. That's where you have to realize that you literally have to practice loving yourself, and that it's okay, that no matter what happened, there is absolutely nothing that invalidates that you're worthy of your own love. But you've got to practice it. You've got to be willing to do it. You've got to be willing to put in the reps. You've got to know that it's not going to feel right, but you've got to know on the other side of that is a vision of your life where you actually do love yourself. Because you took the time to say it. You took the time to practice it. You took the time to sit there and feel stupid and say that you love yourself. And sometimes just putting in the work is what you need to do to get strong. So put in the work.
Realize that your life situation here today, okay, is a result, and it's basically determined by all of your habits. Okay, and if you want more, if you want something different, you can't let these habits just, form on their own. So what I want you to do right now, okay, is look at your life. Look at your life situation, look at where the you're at, and ask yourself, okay, very honestly, very bluntly, how did you get here? Okay, what are all the little events, all the little decisions, all the little factors, that, again, an accumulation of that got you to this point here.
If you keep up your present disciplines and keep up the present pace that you're on, where will you be in 5 years? Now you can keep on the same path for the next couple of years as you have the past two. But if you wish to, and maybe everything's okay for you and you don't need to, but if you need to make some changes, I'm telling you, you can start doing it today so that the next 2 years will be drastically different than the last two.
Question everyone asks when they see nice cars. As that person afford that car, what do they do? So we're just simply asking people what they do for data. Tell us.
I know that my friends own very super cars.
Okay.
And I think one thing is they're very disciplined.
Okay.
They work really hard. And in years of dedication to their work, hard work, they come to a point that they could afford these cars.
Very cool.
Every single successful person that I know has these habits. Okay, he's extremely proactive. No one just drifts to the top out of luck.
Tell me about what was your secret? How did you become a self-made multi-millionaire? How did it all happen?
It's funny. Everybody wants a shortcut, right? That's the most common question people always ask me. Tell me the key.
Yeah.
And there is no magic. It's just a lot of little things you got to do every day. Success is all those boring, sexy things that have to get done every single day to move the ball forward. There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it because that pain is what makes you stronger. Success is not measured on the days when the sun shines. Success is measured on the dark, stormy, cloudy days. And if you can't absorb failure, you're never going to meet success.
Most people don't know why they're where they are. You see, I have found one thing. Everyone knows how to do a better job than they're doing. That's not the problem. We do know how. The problem is we're not doing what we know how to do.
People think, oh, you're living this disciplined lifestyle, so that means you don't have any freedom. And it's actually the exact opposite. I have freedom because I have discipline. I have financial freedom because I have financial discipline. I have more time. I have more time because I have the discipline to get up in the morning, before most normal people get up.
Almost everything you do from the time you get up in the morning is habit. So start to think about yourself as what would be the best habits to have.
Develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you've got the energy, but develop the habits of success and look around you at the people that you admire, and list what makes you admire them compared to somebody else that looks equally strong or equally talented. And those are things that you can do. I mean, just write them down.
As we all know, real growth and development cannot take place overnight. You must pay the price over an extended period of time to reap the benefits of these habits. So I encourage you to make the investment, put forth the time and effort. Focus on the kinds of changes you can make consistently and over time to develop these habits.
Well, I think the one thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being fucking lazy and just doing it. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. The pro goes to work, and it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you have kids, it doesn't matter what, you're a pro and you go to work.
You will receive from the world who you become. But the doorway to success, I suggest to you, swings inward, not outward. And the best way to have a game-changing life, and the best way to have a world-class lifestyle, and the best way to change the world is to change yourself. I mean, we get from life who we become.
So, you want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock and find your discipline.